Good afternoon, guys, and welcome back to Westcliff Koi. As promised, I will try to do a video once a week, even if it is a load of rubbish. But I thought even if you could do a couple of minutes video a week, at least you know I'm still here and I'm still trying. Obviously the main thing this time of year is trying to work out ways of keeping your pond eating in the most cost-effective way. So I've been looking over the drawing board and wondering what I could do, how to keep the boys warm. And I've worked out a way where really all it needs really is the cost of a boiled kettle. That's all you need to warm the boys up. So this is what I've come up with. Hope you all enjoy it and hope you get on well with it. So let's have a look. I mean, come on guys. If that's not effective, then I don't know what is. What isn't? I mean, if it works for us, why can't it work for them? All you've got to do is get up every 2 hours through the day and through the night, boil a kettle, bosh it in there, and everybody's happy. Anyway, obviously you know that I'm only kidding with this, don't you? But what I am going to do, I've always been in the minds of salting the pond. Always thought of it. Ever since my first and only outbreak of fluke, which was coming into spring last year, which was obviously my first time of coming out. I say the pond's only 2 years old, so it was the first time we came out of winter and come into spring, where it's just started warming up a bit and the boys got fluke. That's where we got Essex koi keepers in to give us a scrape. They diagnosed fluke and they also recommended formalin and malachite. And I think it was after they phoned, I got in touch with Exclusively Koi. They advised me not to put formalin and malachite in. Vince Twisted Koi, he informed me not to do it. He said it will kill everything, but it won't kill fluke. Mana Koi, down where we live, they also said that formalin and malachite wouldn't kill fluke. And all three of them recommended Lernex, which I did. I gave them the 2 doses of Lernex. Happy days. Fluke was gone. But obviously over the time I've been hearing about salt treatments, and I really don't want to put chemicals in the pond if I can possibly avoid it, because it seems like once you start putting chemicals in, you're just putting chemicals after chemicals after chemicals in. I've used salt a couple of times. When we first brought my brother's goldfish home, I put him in salt, and a couple of weeks back when we went down to Vince, and he gave us a little fishy there, little Vince, and we put him in salt. So I say, and again when my brother's goldfish had the halfway through the winter, and he was hiding behind one of the flower pots, we took him out, and I just put him in a salt bath. I put him in a salt bath for about 20 minutes, half hour. He come out of there, it was a new fish, no problem whatsoever. So I think I'm definitely going to go down the salt route. And after watching the video this morning of Drifter's Koi, Mike, he's salting his pond, and obviously advise you don't put the salt directly over the fish because it can burn them. So to just dilute the salt into a bucket of pond water and add it slowly. So what I think I'm going to do, I'm going to take his advice. I've just ordered up a salt meter. So obviously it'd be my first time. So do it slowly and gently over a course of 2, 3, 4, 5 days. I don't care, but just put it in. As you can see, they're still happy, aren't they, down there? I put some of that little bit of, just a tablespoonful of Takazumi in there, which is the Easy Mix and the Vital mix, all mixed up together. The stuff that sunk again, bomb, they was on it very, very quick. Within a couple of minutes they was up, clearing everything that was on top. But they all seem happy. They're not, certainly not all under the waterfall clamped up like they was last year. They're all moving about, although they're still under the waterfall, but they're all moving about. And so when I move away from the pond, they'll come right out, like they were before I started videoing. So anyway, what I'm going to do with the salt, they say don't pour it straight over them because you could burn them. So I'm going to mix up the salt in a bucket, dilute it, and then what I intend to do is actually pour it straight into the retro bottom drain, which is down there. You can just see that white colour of it. And what I'm going to do, I'm sure someone will comment and tell me yes, it's a good idea. No, it's not a good idea. I'm going to pour it down a 1.5-inch pipe work, which will go straight in to the bottom drain, which will obviously then in turn be sucked up into the filters. As you all know, I've got just a pressurised filter, so it'll go into the pressurised filter and then come back out over my homemade backy showers, which is running at 40% at the moment. Pump's set up on 40. So I think that would be a good way of getting the salt into the pond. Please let me know if it's not right. But I say, after last week's video, my little short of moans and groans, what a little success that one was. Hey, I think we would have got up to 450 views, which is amazing, really. So 450 views. I've picked up another 3 subscribers. Admittedly, I nicked 2 off of Vince's channel over at Twisted Koi. One of them was a guy playing the piano, and I don't know if you're interested, Vince. I don't know if you've even ever seen him, even any of you guys. I think he's this chap's called Terry Mills. I don't think he's any relation to the other, it was Mrs. Mills, wasn't it? She used to play the piano. Terry Mills. And I think it was the first one I saw of him was the random guy walks into a pub. Very well worth watching. Very well worth watching. And I think the last one I've seen, he actually goes into a church in Chelmsford. And he ends up playing a bit of boogie woogie on the church organ. Very good. So it's worth watching. A random guy walks into a pub. I think you'd all enjoy that, even if you don't like piano playing. I think there's another one got in there. He wows. He goes around all the pubs and all the pubs. He just walks into a pub, got a piano, mate, and he gets on the piano and starts playing it. Very good. So anyway, that's the idea of my salt. That's the idea of my heating the pond, cost-effective way of heating the pond. I've got to take it off now and take it back into the door and put it on her feet. She ain't well, coughing and sneezing, but she's done a COVID test. She's well. She ain't got nothing. So you know who's going to be the next person to get that, don't you? It'll be me. So very chilly here today. The pond's, believe it or not, is sitting at 5.6. No, it isn't. 5.8. Tell a lie. 5.8. I don't know what the air temperature is. I think they forecast it was going down to about -3 overnight. I don't know. I weren't up early enough to see any frost this morning. I actually laid in bed with a sick one till 10 o'clock. Disgusting. But we've enjoyed it. It was nice and warm in there, snuggled up. Didn't have to put the heating on. That's another cost, isn't it? All going berserk. So I think what I might do in a minute, as we've not had any rain for 3 days, I think I might just get the lawnmower out and just run over it on a very high setting, not really to cut the grass, just to suck all the leaves up. So perhaps I'll do that quickly, and I'll come back and show you the results of my mowing. See you soon. Right, here we go. We're back. Grass has all been cut. All the leaves have been sucked up. Excuse the sniffing, but being out here doing this in the cold gives one a runny nose. So, that's that done. Oh, I mean, obviously a lot of people say you should leave the leaves on because it gives nutrients to the grass. But then recently watched gardening programs. I think it's the same program I watched about growing sticks. And they said if you leave the leaves on, it causes a fungus. As the leaves rot down, it causes a fungus, which in turn promotes the growth of mushrooms. And that is a fungus, and it will leave big bald patches in your grass. So that's another theory. I don't know if I'm right, don't know if I'm wrong. I'm only saying what I heard on the gardening program. I haven't got a clue. So now look at these. Look. I'll keep well back. Look. Now this is at 5.8. Look at them. They're just still swimming around here. Happy as whatever. Don't make sense, do you? Look, it's like summer, they're still feeding. And it's not just the odd one that's feeding, they're all feeding. There's nothing upset, clamped up on the bottom, hiding. They're all coming up in turn to have a little nibble. So, I wonder if how many of you are going to take up the heating the pond idea from me. Eh? I bet there won't be many. Oh, and there's another useless fact what I might be able to inform you about. Keep you safe. Did you actually know that a hot water bowl has got a best before date on it? I bet there's not a lot of you who do that. But it was on TV this morning. And there's a lot of people who have actually been burnt quite badly. Where water bottles exploding when they're past their best before date. And there's one guy on there, a woman I think she was. She was so severely burnt that she needed a couple of skin grafts. It's really bad. And funny enough, when I got that hot water bottle out to do this little stint, it's got a best before date on it of 2006. So I think that'll be going in the bin in case we ever use it again. So there you go. Check your water bottles, guys, before you use them. I'll tell you what though, look at these. Look at them. So anyway, I'm going to spin you around a little bit, and just to say goodbye. Just hope you can see me on this. So as you can see, I'm full of the Christmas spirit. Although I'm not, I'm still only drinking tea, so not really full of Christmas spirit. But the skies are blue. I've done all my work for the day. Grass is cut. Give the boys a little nibble, so they're quite happy. Put me nets back on, in case there's any herons floating about. Still not done any more brickwork. But I say, got the concrete in. So that's, sorry about the wobbly camera there. So at least the concrete's there and I'm ready to do brickwork. I don't think I'll be doing over next few days because we're going down over 0, -4, -5 I think, Friday night. And you poor souls up in Scotland or up further north, you're going -6, and they're talking about -6 during the day. And then we've got snow forecast for end of next week. But I tell you what, as long as these boys and girls are swimming around like this, I'm well happy. There's little Vince. There you go, Vince. Hey, get out of the way. There he is. He's looking good, isn't he? He's doing really good. That's not Isa Shower. He's looking happy with himself. Anyway guys, I'm going to end this one here. You've had enough of me. 16.5 minutes. I don't want to spoil you, you know what I mean? But I'm quite pleased to squeeze out 16 minutes worth of waffle. Look at him under there, look. Boom. Sorry boy, did I upset you by talking about wee? Anyway guys, see you on the next one. Keep safe, keep warm. I hope your fish was all as happy as my mob.